I would like to welcome Charl Schwartzel to the RBC Canadian Open. Charl, this is your first time playing in Canada, and obviously your first RBC Canadian Open. If we could just get your thoughts on seeing the course. You said today was the first time you had seen it, and we'll take questions from there.
Yeah, it's obviously my first tournament in Canada. I'm very excited about it. The golf course is a course that is pretty much right in front of you. It's a course. It looks like it suited my eye today. It's the first time I've seen it, but it's a tough golf course. It's been a long time since I've had that many yardages of 200 and over into a lot of these holes. And the ball was going short, so I felt it played really long today.
Charl, when you're looking at a setup like this, this is a national open. Mike Weir just mentioned when he was in here that the setup is difficult. Believe that's the way it should be? National Opens should be set up difficult for you guys?
Yeah, I think National Open has got some sort of prestige to it. So you want to separate it from normal events. And this is tough. Not even the U.S. Open at Congressional was nearly as much rough as this. This is the toughest I've had all year, rough-wise.
Charles, I was just wondering, can you talk a little bit about the difficulty it presents to the individual you play the British Open, then you have to travel cross-continent, cross-country to come set up and be ready to play again in less than a week. How taxing or how difficult is that?
It gets difficult when you're crossing 8 time zones. But I find it a little bit easier going east to west. So I haven't, whenever we're coming this way, I don't find it too much to adapt to. The biggest thing was the bad weather we had at Royal St. George's was to find a golf swing that can hit the ball high again coming out here. I think that was probably the biggest adjustment for me, just to find my golf swing again.
Can you just talk about how things have changed, obviously, for you since Augusta and your win at the Masters?
Well, I mean, obviously when you win a tournament of that sort of prestige, things, in your life change a little bit. A few more tournaments that added to the schedule that wasn't quite there. But nothing that I'm complaining about. Everything that happened to me is all a positive. So, I'm just trying to manage my time a little bit better and give my golf the attention it needs. You can very easily fall into a trap of giving too much attention to other things, where it's your golf that actually got you there.
Charl, your win at Augusta came 50 years after Gary Player became the first non-American to win. Was it a huge deal back home?
Yeah, I think it was. It obviously just sort of added to the whole victory, that it was Gary's 50th anniversary. It made my win a little bit more special. And I think it sort of made the win that he had 50 years ago, people remember it a little bit more now. I think if say American had to win, nobody would have been talking about Gary's 50th. But now that a South African won it on the 50th, now it's spoken about a little bit more.
You haven't golfed here before, but you've been to British Columbia before, haven't you?
Yeah, we
to Kamloops with Louis.
Yes, yeah. I've been here twice. 2008, 2009. We come for water skiing, it sounds funny. People at home tell us, "Why are you going to Canada?" I say, "No, I'm going water skiing in Canada." What? Water skiing? We love coming here.
Is it special that you both won majors so close together?
Yeah, it does. I mean, we got such a good friendship, and it's nice. It's nice to sit down sometimes and think what we've done.
Hey, Charl. Don't know if you've heard, but Tiger Woods and Steve Williams have decided to split their player-caddy relationship. First, your reaction. Secondly, for the fan at home on the couch, that may seem like a big deal. From your perspective, is that player-caddy relationship split, specifically that one, a big deal?
Well, it is the first time that I hear about it. You know, I think they've had such a good run. You know, and there's a saying: there's always, you know, a good thing is it will always come to an end sometime. So, you know, I suppose I just needed a change. You know, he hasn't been playing much, and you know, he hasn't been playing well. So maybe it's what he needs to, just a new environment.
Charl, you're playing with Ernie tomorrow. 2 questions, if I might. Is that still special for you? Is that, as he's meant a lot to your career, I understand. Does that give you a little something extra into the round tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to play with Ernie. You know, I've always said, you know, when I play with him, I seem to play a little bit better. I feed a lot off the way he swings the club. You know, his rhythm sort of rubs off on me a little bit, and you know, so yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with him. I always enjoy it.
And can you talk about the impact he's had on your career and other young South African players?
He's helped me a lot as a professional. You know, he's always invited us to play with him, practice rounds, share a bit of his knowledge. He's helped me out a few times when I come to America. You know, sometimes stay with him, and you know, he's not the worst guy to be around to learn things from. So you know, it's you know, he's done a lot for me as a professional.
Hey, Charl. You mentioned it's a long golf course with thick rough. Do you have any idea what you think the winning number might be this week?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I've played it once, and I've played in a prime where Pa's your friend. So, you know, if Pa's my friend in a tournament, I can do pretty well. It's difficult to say. I didn't play it properly enough to actually analyze to see what sort of score will win, but I don't think it's going to be very much under par. You know, maybe around 6, 7 under, something like that.
There was some talk earlier in the year that the President's Cup may coincide at the same date as the South African Open. I mean, obviously that's been waylaid, but can you talk a little bit about the sense of I don't know, national pride or whatever you have when playing your own National Open, and you know, sort of what you see in comparison when you come to Canada and you see our National Open? Yeah,
well, you know, it's fortunate for us they changed the dates around, so we've got a chance to play our National Open. You know, I think for any player whose National Open it is, you know, I'm sure for Mike Weir that's playing here, and Stephen Ames and a whole bunch of Canadians, you know, it really would be something nice to add to your CV. You know, to win a tournament, your own, in front of your own people, it makes it a little bit more special for that specific person.
Charl, welcome to our city. I was just chatting with Anthony Kim, and he said this course to him is one of the toughest that he's played in his life. What makes it so intimidating? I know there's the rough, I know it's the small greens, but I mean, what were your impressions out there? And I know you just talked about the score, but what makes this course, you know, have its teeth?
Well, it's so long that it forces you to hit drivers. You know, most of the time when the courses are this long and tough, you would back off to your 3-wood and play like that, but it's almost too long to do that. And most of the golf courses where the rough is thick, if you miss it by 5 meters where the people walk, you'll be fine. But if you miss it by 5 meters, yeah, for sure you'll be better off, but you're in the trees. You know, the trees are very close to the fairways. So there's, you know, you need precision. If you slightly off, you're chopping it out, and you got to go from there. And yeah, and I found the greens are very small. So even if you do hit the fairway, you're standing with a 5 or 4 iron, and and if they get a little bit firmer, you can't hold them, and it's really difficult. It's just plain difficult golf course that's not tricked up. It's just difficult.
We have time for one more question.
Yeah, hey Charl. Hopefully you're enjoying our summer weather so far. If it
Is this summer?
Yeah, you wouldn't know it. But I won't say it, don't want to jinx it, but just judging from last week at the British Open, just how much do you have to alter your game to play to those kind of conditions? And given kind of the type of course this is, how narrow it is, and how thick the rough is?
The British Open, you've got that one swing that you work on for the year, and you use it only there, and then you throw it out the window because it doesn't work anywhere else. It only works there. The British Open, you play such different golf to what you do here. You want to get the ball up, you want to get it flying far. There, you want to get it down and rolling. And it sometimes can take a while, especially in the conditions we played in that sort of wind and weather, to get a little bit of niggles out your swing that you might have picked up in those sort of conditions. So, it's got to get back to what you do for the other 51 weeks of the year.
Thanks for coming in. Good luck this week.
Thank you.